With the IT industry breaking new ground in reducing CO2 emissions, it is perhaps appropriate that for our final story in this episode, we focus on children, the next generation of computer experts. Earlier this year, a conference was held in Seoul in South Korea, aimed at addressing the same environmental issues to be tackled in Copenhagen. The International Children and Youth Conference on the Environment, organised by the United Nations Environment Programme.
Because we only have one chance with the environment, it is important that we care about it and, well, save it as fast as we can.
Addressing the grave environmental issues facing the planet is an issue that must be faced up to now. But it's the next generations that will have to live with the success or failure of our actions today. With this in mind, the United Nations Environment Programme recently organised the Tunza International Children and Youth Conference on the Environment in South Korea to bring together children from all around the globe. The word Tunza is East African and means treat with care. This is the key message about the planet that the children want to get across to their governments in the build-up to the crucial climate change negotiations in Copenhagen.
The youth and children are 3 billion of the world population, so our voices are to be heard everywhere. We want adults to listen to our voices.
The theme of the Children's Conference was Climate Change Our Challenge and comprised several high-profile events. One of the most important of these was the Seal the Deal Global Town Hall.
Right now we're running a global town meeting. So young people ages 10 to 24 from 110 countries are sitting together at tables talking about issues like what in my country is threatened by climate change? What do we know we have to protect? What's the message we want to send to government leaders?
Children from the various nations scrutinised their own government's track records in addressing climate change and emphasised the need for strong vision and leadership before it was too late. The children attending the conference agreed the wording of a statement to world leaders. On behalf of the planet's 3 billion children, they expressed their concern and frustration that their governments are not doing enough to combat climate change.
They're very concerned and they want the leadership of the world to understand their feelings that things have to be done and things have to move really quickly. There's time only now for action.
We live near the Arctic, and there all the ice is melting because the temperature is getting warmer and then the sea level is rising.
The children were acutely aware of the cumulative impact of local environmental issues on a global scale. One of the purposes of the conference was for them to exchange ideas about how they are putting actions into place where they live.
Well, our eco group is going to visit local mayors, and we're trying to convince them that they really should do something. So we got laws passed in our cities so that cars are not allowed to idle.
I work for an organization named Tarumitra. It is just composed of children. It is one of the biggest environmental NGO. It has branches over 1,600 high schools in India.
And you don't have to go far from the conference to find examples of children taking initiatives to help save the environment. After a terrible oil spill in the Korean province of Taein, local children decided to do something to help.
Hello, my name is Sarah Kim and I'm one of the members of the Happy Bubble team. The people who got most of the harm were mostly the Taean residents because they are having a very hard time convincing other customers that, well, their products are actually safe. We make soap out of the oil that is wasted in many restaurants, in our homes and schools. All of the profit is sent to the residents in the Taean.
By recycling cooking oil that would otherwise have been wasted, the children are helping raise money for those whose environment and livelihoods have been devastated by oil of a different kind.
We usually use this bowl to take out the waste, and then we mix it with water and caustic soda, and then we keep on stirring it until it gets hardened and too hard to stir anymore. And then we put it in some molds, and then there comes out the soap.
And through their endeavours, members of the Happy Bubble team have also been able to raise awareness of environmental issues. A popular feature of the UNEP conferences is the International Children's Painting Competition. It has been held since 1991 and has had more than 2.4 million entries from children in more than 100 countries. The theme for this year's competition was biodiversity.
Мне лет 9. Из Новосибирска. Юлия Александровна. Это мой учитель по рисованию. Чтобы они уважали землю и ее не загрязняли. Ей делали добро. Ухаживали за ней.
UNEP even turned Ludmila's winning drawing into an animation. And as the conference drew to a close and eyes turned to Copenhagen, there was a real sense that children who had been taking environmental initiatives on their doorstep realised they weren't alone.
The children are intelligent. They know where they want to go. They know what they want to do. We must just start listening.
In next week's edition of Seal the Deal, I'll be at the Frankfurt Motor Show, the world's largest, where we'll be exploring the future of transport. Our journey will take us from Japan to France, the Philippines to Frankfurt via Hong Kong. Until then, from me, Flemmick Webb, thank you for watching.